There was a lot at stake with those four special elections across the Commonwealth. Now, Democratic leaders say they're ready to get back to work after keeping control of the House of Representatives here in Frankfort.
It's a great night for Kentucky Democrats. It's a great night for Kentucky because
All right, you're hearing some reaction to last night's elections in Kentucky. Democrats scoring 3 out of 4 wins in those special elections.
And more delegates were up for grabs yesterday. 4 states weighed in on the presidential race, and there was a big upset. And Donald Trump, well, he kept to his winning ways. Bernie Sanders really pulling off an upset. We'll tell you more about it.
And the state has issued violations to the Estill County landfill containing radioactive waste. We'll explain more just ahead.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Well, good morning to you and welcome. It's good to have you with us on WKYT on your Wednesday. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. It is just so nice out there today.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's been great. The last couple of days, it sounds like we get another one like that, a springtime day. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, and it's even warmer today. That goes for morning and afternoon. We're starting off this morning, a few clouds here and there. That's about it. Other than that, we are good to go. It's 65 right now in Louisville. You go off toward our region, you're talking about roughly 60 degrees in Richmond, 57 now in Lexington, and Monticello coming in at close to 60 degrees. So it kind of depends on where you are because we have 45 now in Somerset. But this is a really, really nice start to the day. 76 by the afternoon, even warmer than what we have felt the past few days. Could be inching close to a record. We'll talk about that. And also when that rain moves in, it's moving in a little bit earlier than what we've had the past few days. We'll have that coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, let's get to the news. It has been controlled by the Democrats since 1921, and the Kentucky House will be staying that way, at least for now.
Democrats won 3 of the 4 House seats up for grabs in a special election yesterday that includes the 67th district, or 62nd district, which includes parts of Fayette, Scott, and Owen counties. Democrat Chuck Tackett won with 52% of the vote compared to Republican Phil Pratt's 48%. The only win for the Republicans came in the 54th district, which includes parts of Boyle and Casey counties. Republican Daniel Elliott easily defeated Democrat Bill Nolker.
Republicans hope to have a 50-50 House tie after yesterday's election. Instead, the Democrats now hold a 53-47 majority. WKYT's Garrett Weimer has reactions from Frankfort.
There was a lot at stake with those 4 special elections across the Commonwealth. Now, Democratic leaders say they're ready to get back to work after keeping control of the House of Representatives here in Frankfort.
it's a great night for Kentucky Democrats. It's a great night for Kentucky because the wins in these 3 districts are wins for the people of Kentucky.
And they felt like celebrating. State party leaders called it the rebirth of Kentucky's Democratic Party, remaining in control of the state house.
Control of the chamber means a lot more than just 1 or 2 extra votes than you had before. So much of what happens in the legislature depends on who's in charge.
Speaker Greg Stumbo says he believes the results are in part a backlash against Governor Bevin's proposed budget cuts.
What it says is that people in Kentucky want us to work together, and I'm committed to that, and I think my caucus is committed to that.
In a statement, the chairman of the Republican Party of Kentucky said the elections put the GOP 1 seat closer to a majority, adding, quote, with Republican candidates running in 91 House districts and the Democrats tied to the Obama-Clinton agenda, I am confident we will take the majority and turn Kentucky in a new direction in November. In the meantime, with a budget battle underway, the state government here in Frankfort remains divided, with Republicans in control of the Senate and Democrats the House. At the Capitol, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Well, Kentucky Democratic leaders say they will focus on education and health care.
Shifting now to the race for president, Bernie Sanders has won the critical battleground state of Michigan. It's a sharp blow to Hillary Clinton. Sources say her campaign is shaken by the close Democratic race there. Clinton did manage to pull off a win in Mississippi. Donald Trump is another big winner, taking the Republican primaries in Mississippi and Michigan. Mary Maloney has more from Super Tuesday 2.
In a stunning upset, Bernie Sanders winning the Michigan primary.
I just want to take this opportunity to thank the people of Michigan who kind of repudiated the polls that had us 25 points down a few days ago, who repudiated the pundits who said that Bernie Sanders was not going anywhere.
While Hillary Clinton still holds the lead in the delegate race, it represents an embarrassing speed bump in her efforts to pull away from the Sanders campaign.
We believe that our strongest areas are yet to happen. We're going to do very, very well in the West Coast and other parts of this country.
Hillary Clinton winning Mississippi. Crowds cheered at her headquarters as supporters heard the news.
This campaign is about building a future where every American can live up to his or her full potential, no matter where you come from, what you look like, or who you love.
Thank you very much, everyone. This was an amazing evening.
Donald Trump winning crucial victories in Mississippi and delegate-rich Michigan.
One of the things I'm most happy about is that the turnout has been just massive.
Performing strong despite a barrage of attacks from opponents.
I don't think I've ever had so many horrible, horrible things said about me in 1 week.
Trump not the only Republican winner of the night. Ted Cruz winning Idaho. Now the focus is on next Tuesday with contests in Marco Rubio's home state of Florida.
I believe with all my heart that the winner of the Florida primary next Tuesday will be the nominee of the Republican Party.
And John Kasich's home state of Ohio.
We're now moving into a position where the people of America are beginning to hear this message, and it's going to get stronger.
I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
Republicans in Hawaii also had a chance to weigh into the presidential race. Caucus results there still being counted, indications that Trump is ahead there.
The state has sent a violation notice to an Estill County landfill where naturally occurring radioactive waste was illegally dumped. The Energy and Environment Cabinet says it sent a notice to Blue Ridge Landfill yesterday afternoon outlining 4 violations. State investigators say among the violations, the landfill used inaccurate reporting in a quarterly report and disposed of unpermitted waste while not properly recording the source. The state also sent a cease and desist letter to Advanced Tenarm of West Liberty and said the waste disposal company could face civil fines of up to $100,000 for each dumping. Investigators say the company illegally dumped the radioactive waste from West Virginia. The state also says radioactive waste was dumped in another landfill in the Ashland area.
A man suffered some serious injuries when police say someone stabbed him in Georgetown. It happened late yesterday afternoon on Scroggins Park Drive off East Showalter. Georgetown police say the victim was stabbed multiple times. They say he was taken to UK hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police say they have detained a suspect for questioning.
Lexington police need your help finding a man they say has robbed the same gas station 6 times since December. Police released some surveillance video of the suspect yesterday. They say he keeps robbing the Speedway on Versailles Road. Each of the robberies have happened between 2 and 4 in the morning. Police say the robber has had the same approach each time.
He immediately, as soon as he breaches the front door, raises the handgun and points it at the face of one of the clerks. He does that in every single instance, as we can see.
Lexington police say the suspect's a black man in his 20s, about 6 feet tall, with a thin build. They say he's never used a getaway car. Police have increased patrols in the area around the gas station. They say when he's caught, the suspect will face multiple first-degree robbery charges.
Well, it has been a year and police have still made no arrests. And now friends say that they just want to know why someone killed a Laurel County couple in their home.
Police say they found Donnie and Sharon Jackson dead in their burning home on March 8th of last year. They say the couple had been shot before the fire. Monique Blair talked to one of the couple's friends who says that he's not giving up on justice in the case.
There's not a day goes by that somebody don't mention it, somebody don't ask about it.
Every day for exactly 1 year now.
It's not a good day.
Larry Joe Gross has struggled to make sense of why someone would murder his childhood friends, Donnie and Sharon Jackson.
I knew Donnie and Sharon as childhood friends, one of the best friends I ever had. He didn't deserve this. The family don't deserve it.
Donnie and Sharon were both found shot to death in their Slate Ridge Road home. Their home also caught fire, but no arrests have been made. Both Donnie and Sharon Jackson were members at the AMVET Post 116. They were both well-known and well-liked. In fact, this was Donnie's favorite chair. And that's why the Post contributed to the $10,000 reward. An anonymous donor also contributed to the reward, a reward that has sat untouched for nearly a year.
If anybody can come up with anything, I guarantee they'll get paid.
The Laurel County Sheriff's Office says they still receive tips almost every week, and they follow up with every single one that comes in. Right now, there is some DNA that is being tested at the State Police Crime Lab. The Sheriff's Office believes they will make an arrest in the case, but no suspects have been named at this time.
We're talking about a friend of mine. And I would love to see somebody pay for it.
In Laurel County, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Well, the $10,000 reward will be issued once someone is arrested and convicted for the crime.
City officials have now named a new interim director for the Fayette County Detention Center. Scott Colvin is currently the jail's deputy director, but he'll be moved up next week. He'll replace Rodney Ballard, who has been named state corrections commissioner. The city plans a national search for a permanent jail director.
Well, a new edition of Maker's Mark will have a taste of Keeneland. Maker's Mark worked with Keeneland officials to come up with a Keeneland edition of Maker's Mark. Yesterday, Keeneland, along with others in the community, including our own Deanne Stevens, got to sample it. Keeneland says that their Maker's Mark edition will be on sale soon.
These are two great brands that fit very well together, and where you're going to be able to enjoy that is at the upcoming spring meet starting on April the 8th.
Well, Maker's Mark says Keeneland actually built its own barrel to develop this new edition of Maker's Mark. And always good to see our old friend Deanne Stevens out there having a little bit of fun. Tough job for her.
Privileged character there, right? Yeah, 4:41 on WKYT this morning. We're just getting started. So good to have you along here on your Wednesday.
Doctors say to take action of the first sign of a headache. Today's Moms Everyday shares some remedies after the break.
We have the 40s, 50s, and 60s out there this morning, but I'll tell you this, it is a good feel here in the bluegrass. We get into your afternoon, possible record-breaking temperatures, and then rain moves in for parts tomorrow. I'll have that coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Really good looking start to the day. As you step outside this morning, most areas, about 90% of our viewing area in the 50s and even a couple of 60s. It is a really good feel outside this morning. Then we hit the afternoon and you're talking about record-breaking, the possibility of a couple of spots hitting record-breaking temperatures. For the most part, we'll stay below that. I don't believe most of us will actually get close to it, but there are a couple spots that could actually see temperatures reach that record. That record here in Lexington is 78 degrees. We still have about 20 degrees to go here in Lexington, starting off at 57. Now that goes for Richmond, 57 degrees. A couple of spots down toward the southern zones. Southern half of our viewing area go off toward London and Corbin, and we're at 48. North Middletown, up toward Mount Sterling, Moorhead, Covington, Frankfort, Cynthiana. We're doing well this morning, sitting there in the 50s and even a couple of 60s. Look at these temperatures. I mean, this is really getting up there. 76 degrees later on today with a mixture of sun and clouds. Now, we'll wake up this morning and have some clouds overhead. It won't be as nice as what we saw yesterday with just bright blue skies, but nonetheless, at least we're staying mainly dry. Remember, we have a 20% chance of rain there in the forecast later on this afternoon, so we can't rule it out later on today, but for the most part, we stay dry. It's all about the temperatures again today. Let's talk about tomorrow. Here's 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So fast forward roughly 24 hours, and there you go, already seeing some showers off into northwest zones. Now, we're going to be seeing that area continue to be hit by these showers, even a few rumbles of thunder. For the most part, this is just going to be shower activity. But there's noontime still not looking down toward the south and the east. Southeast, you will not see rain until we hit the evening and nighttime hours. It really just stays there through the day. Then we hit 3, 4 p.m., and there you go, holding on to that rain, and that rain will start to push on in as we finish off in the 70s for most. But this area northwest, if you work your way across 71, that's the best bet of actually picking up good amounts of rain, probably around an inch for you guys up toward the northwest. And then for everybody, it streams through overnight and into Friday. But once it pushes through Friday morning, most of Friday morning off into the afternoon is actually dry. Let's check out your 7-day forecast, what you can expect. So for the most part, dry today, 76 feels great. Tomorrow, rain mainly west, and then Friday, it's mainly in the morning that we actually see that. So Friday afternoon and evening will be fantastic. Saturday and Sunday, that's when your best chances of rain come flying off into the region, especially there on Sunday with scattered showers and a few rumbles of thunder, but you still see no shot of cold air anytime soon.
That's right. That's good.
That's good. I'll take that.
Oh, it's fantastic now. Thank you, Micah. The time is 4:47, and tension headaches are the most common type of headache.
Yeah, here's Amanda Lanham with some proven ways to get rid of them quickly in today's Mom's Everyday Minute.
Since stress is one of the main triggers for the most common type of headache, relieving tense muscles may help calm tension headaches. If you feel sensitive to light or sound, for instance, rest or sit in a dimly lit room. Close your eyes and try to relax your back, neck, and shoulders. Peppermint oil has been used as a natural remedy to help calm muscles and stop headache spasms. So rub a drop or two on your temples or forehead. That aroma can also help you relax. Neck exercises may ease tension, headache, pain caused by holding your head in one position for too long. Try placing your palm on your forehead. Using your neck muscles, press forehead lightly forward against your palm. Keep your head upright, your hand and arm still for resistance. That may help. Acupressure might help also. Acupressure.com says try squeezing the webbed space between your thumb and index finger for 20 to 30 seconds. This can help your body release pain-relieving endorphins and may help other pain and inflammation as well. Caffeine may help pain relief drugs work better and faster. Recent research has shown that an aspirin, acetaminophen, caffeine combination is more effective than just acetaminophen alone. Of course, for recurring headaches, you should see your doctor. For more ways to make mom's life easier, check out momseveryday.com.
For these tips and more, go to WKYT.com, click on Moms Every Day.
And you'll also find all the latest news right there. Good to have you along now, 4:49 on WKYT This Morning.
Well, crews in Tennessee are continuing to work on clearing a rock slide that forced a portion of Interstate 75 to shut down. An update on the progress when we return.
Good morning. It is 4:52 on WKYT This Morning. We're glad you're up and at it, bright and early this morning. Crews are now blasting as part of their work to stop a rock slide that has shut down a stretch of Interstate 75 in Tennessee.
The Tennessee Department of Transportation posted a video of some of the work that went on yesterday. The rock slide shut down about a 20-mile stretch of Interstate 75 south of Jellicoe on February 26. Crews hope to have the southbound lanes reopened by March 17th. And the northbound lanes a week later. They hope to have all work finished by April 15th.
Some frightening moments for a driver yesterday when his concrete truck flipped off of a Rockcastle County road. It happened along Big Cave Road. Mount Vernon firefighters say when they got there, the driver was still trapped inside the truck, so they cut him out of the vehicle. Firefighters say the driver was then airlifted to UK Hospital and apparently had non-life-threatening injuries. Police are investigating what caused the crash.
The search continues for a missing Whitley County man this morning. The Whitley County Sheriff's Office issued a golden alert Monday night for 48-year-old Joel Moses. Deputies say they found his car abandoned along the side of Highway 25. They say they found his jacket near the Clear Fork River. Some people who know Moses say they fear the worst.
And there was like slide marks on the mud down to the water, and with all my heart, I really think he slid into that water. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but I think that. Right. And he couldn't swim.
Well, Whitley County Emergency Management says crews have completed the ground search for Moses, but they'll continue to search the Clear Fork River.
Well, coming up next, we'll have a look at some of the stories we're working on for you this morning.
We'll also have another look at your fabulous forecast.
He looks good. Back in a moment. Hey, good morning. The time coming up on 4:57 on your Wednesday.
Let's take a look right now at some of the stories we're working on for you this morning.
Police have made an arrest in a Lexington murder case, and coming up in just a couple of minutes at 5, we have some new information from police regarding the suspect's name, as well as some details on how the crime happened.
Well, it's a really nice day, and we're really expecting a continuation of that, Micah, throughout the week, which is great.
Yeah, it's really nice, especially today. Today is going to be your warmest day in the forecast, because tomorrow, the reason why tomorrow we've dropped our temperatures in the 7-day is because rain's starting to move in a little bit earlier than what has been shown the past few days. So we're going to be talking about that in the next couple of hours, WKYT News. But this morning, you're walking outside in really nice conditions. Even if you're one of the coldest spots at 45 degrees, that's still not bad. I mean, that's on the cooler side, but 57 in Richmond, 60 in Monticello. You got to love that. 76 by the afternoon, and then I'll show you rain moving in later on. That comes up with another 2 hours of WKYT News.